PlayStation
Welcome to the land of long live play where greatness is always waiting. Welcome to the PlayStation experience. It is I, your boy, Dat Ninja Dev, on this fine Sunday morning, Easter Sunday if you're religious. And I am joined by my main man down in Florida who just celebrated a 41st birthday. How are you doing, Mr. Delvin Cox?
I am doing well, a.k.a. Delvin Cox, 41 Savage, part of the 41-year-old club of old men. I plan on retiring in a villa somewhere.
As you should be, How is 41 feeling?
Feeling good.
What are you
My foot
drinking
hurts.
there?
Hennessy.
No.
Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
Dr.
okay.
Pepper.
So we're drinking the same thing then.
Yes, exactly. Feels good. Foot hurts.
I mean,
But yes.
Hennessy early in the morning, why not?
I mean,
Yes,
it's a holiday. You do what you want.
Yeah.
You're a grown man. You do what you want.
I'm a really grown man now.
Also joining us from the Great White North, Miss Haley Nicole Miller. How are you this fine Sunday morning?
Surprised that dinner last night went well. So, you know.
Tell us all about that. Might as well just jump right into it.
I met my dad's new girlfriend last night, so that was interesting. He respected my identity for once, although I think my sister scared the living hell out of him into doing so. So that was fun because I received a text message from her on Friday going, already tired of his nonsense, and then nothing came of it at dinner. So, all right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Progress.
While we're on this topic, this was for anyone who's not a Patreon supporter, this will be news to you. For anyone who's listened to my episode of DLC, I'm bringing this up now because that bill I talked about last week that I went into a rant about, it passed. So let's just make this clear. I was a trans kid. If I did not transition, I would not be here right now. I would be 6 feet under. Let's not take medical access away from kids. Thanks. Or trans people in general, since you also can't get insurance coverage for it in the state of Arkansas now. So, cool. ACLU has already said they're going to take Arkansas to court. I'm bringing this up again for reference. Literally all that's done for trans youth is puberty blockers and therapy, but that's illegal now. So, I would not be alive if I lived in Arkansas. Just for reference.
No
bueno. Can we just let people be people or no? Okay.
Yeah.
Look to what my shirt says, and that says how I feel about this situation at all times.
For those who are audio listeners only, Delvin's shirt says "Injustice Anywhere" is
a threat everywhere.
Yeah.
An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice anywhere.
Yeah, that's what. Yes. Yeah, I couldn't see the bottom of the shirt, but I could see most of it. So, but yeah. So for audio listeners, there you go. You know what Delvin's shirt says.
Yes.
But yeah. So
thanks, Garrett.
Thank you, Garrett.
I
don't agree on the PS Vita point, but that's a personal opinion, so that doesn't matter. Anyways, in other news, I think my interview went well. So
that's great.
Good.
I find out on Tuesday whether or not I'm in. So because she's interviewing people tomorrow. So, and then she said I'll find out on Tuesday. If I get an email, I'm not in. If I get a phone call, I am in. But she said I'll hear back either way. So,
okay.
At least they're being transparent. That's
Fingers
a great thing.
crossed.
well,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, for reference, I think I've sent off about 30 applications in the past 3 weeks, and I've heard nothing back from any of them except this place. So,
Yeah. That's a common thing when you're applying for a job. They either contact you immediately or you hear nothing.
yeah. So, for other news, I really haven't done much gaming this week because I was preparing for the interview. Just Valhalla here and there, doing the Asgard and Jotunheim arc. So, for anyone who hasn't played Valhalla or is starting, this isn't a spoiler. I'm just saying, like, to do the Asgard arc and complete it, there comes a point where eventually you have to go to Jotunheim, and then that starts the Jotunheim arc, and you have to finish the Jotunheim arc before you can go back and complete the Asgard arc. So like they're tied to each other. It's not too bad, but having fun with that. Like I said, the DLC for Valhalla comes out at the end of the month. So I'm excited for that. What else? Oh, right. Finished Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3. That was very good. I've started Invincible. I haven't got very far because I kind of started it like yesterday, right before I left to go to dinner. And then I re-downloaded Fallout 76, but I haven't had a chance to like touch it. So
Busy week. Busy week. What about you, Mr. Cox? What have you been up to?
It's been a decent week. Besides celebrating my birthday, I did get to play 2 games. I finally beat Cyberpunk.
Oh, nice. You gonna beat Ghost of Tsushima or?
Eventually, yeah. That's my plan. I'm gonna play that. I'm probably gonna actually play that next.
Okay.
But Cyberpunk's really good.
What ending did you get? And don't spoil the ending, but like the trophy name. What did you get?
I don't remember the trophy name. I can tell you it's the good ending.
Okay,
that's the best way to describe it.
So you got the star ending then.
Yeah, something like that. Everything that I wanted to happen happened in the ending I got, so I was cool with that. It's a long ending. You can tell it's a good ending because it's a long ending. It's like a 15, 20-minute ending.
I mean, to be fair, they're all like that. So just so we're clear, I have all 4 of them. Do not forget they are.
They're all long. Jeez.
Yeah, now you got to go back and replay it.
That's not happening. I immediately traded that sucker in. I'm not going.
I'm not. Garrett. He's not playing it again.
I'm not playing it again. I liked it. I beat it before all the patch stuff came out. I'm like, this is fine. This is
the new patch that's like 8,000 words of patches and also introduced new bugs according to Paul Tassi.
Yeah, I said forget this. I enjoyed my time with it. It was great. I don't see myself playing the next gen version. That's the reason why I said we might as well just trade this back in. There's no point to me to play it. I enjoyed my time with it. My ending was my ending. I was cool with it. Didn't need to see any more with the game. I felt so. I'm like, all right.
I got all 4 endings.
I was not going to do that. I feel like this game feels more like Fallout to me than anything else.
Okay, Delvin,
future Fallout.
Don't spoil it for anyone else, but I literally just need to know. I'm putting it in the private chat here. I just need to know yes or no.
Okay, let me
see. We can address all that later. Just keep telling us about
your week. He can answer it live on air.
It's spoilers and things. He beat the game. He got the ending he wants.
I just want to know
about
yes
the rest
or
of his week.
No.
Then you wouldn't have been able to get one of the endings without replaying the entire game. So
I wouldn't have cared about that. I found out that it could after the fact. I said, screw this. I'm not doing this again. So I was like, nah, I'm good on that. But I enjoyed my time with the game. It's basically future Fallout, like futuristic Neo Fallout with the same bugs and everything.
Oh yeah.
Like they may have overhyped this game, but if you take it for what it is, it's fine.
Well, come on, Donnie. You don't want me to spoil Cyberpunk for you.
All right. The other game I played
left off.
The other game I played, which is interesting, which I was actually waiting for, Disco Elysium.
Yes, I'm very interested in this one. Tell me all about it.
It's weird. It is super weird. I don't even know how to describe it. I played it for like 30 minutes and then I died because like the character I was playing had like a panic attack. And then I'm like, what in the world is going on? It's super weird, super interesting. I don't think Haley will like this game at all, by the way.
Disco Elysium.
Yes.
There's a question later about this that I have a bone to pick with Lucas, but I don't know. I know there's no combat in it, but that doesn't mean
No, there's some harsh language. And I know harsh language is not a problem, but when you're throwing around homophobic slurs a lot, yeah.
cool, great. That's what we need. Love it.
It's jarring how often it's thrown around.
Great.
It's
For anyone who's watching the video, you can definitely see why I would take issue with that.
Yeah. It's like it's legit. I will go as far as say I've never played a game that has thrown around that word that often.
Can I take a guess I'm not gonna say the slur, but can I take a guess at which slur it is?
Be my guess.
Is it the F one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And,
I hate that word.
And it's thrown around often. Like there's a part in the game where a kid is saying it several times in a row. And they kind of censor it out, I guess, because I guess some countries they allow that to be said and things like that. But you know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's a weird game. I don't know if I like it or not. Because you have it's almost like a point and click adventure game, but it doesn't feel point and clicky. Doesn't always click like you want it to click, and it looks weird. And you kind of have like this inner monologue that's constantly going on, and you have to control how your psyche in the game works and like how your mental state is. And like I said, if you don't watch in your mental state, you lose the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I also know there's no combat, so which there doesn't always need to be combat in games. Like I enjoy Life is Strange. There's no combat in that. But like I don't know, I saw this game as like a strength and charisma stat, and I'm just like, why do you even need that? There's no combat.
Yeah, it's super weird because essentially it's a detective game. You have to solve a murder, but then you also don't know who you are. Like you have no identity to who you are. You didn't even know that you're a cop. Like the game you have to figure out that you're a cop and that you're here to solve a murder. It's so weird. It feels like
Interesting.
I remember when this game first came out a year or two ago?
I think it came out in 2019.
Yeah. That long ago?
I think so.
Yeah.
Hold on, I can check for you.
Yeah,
It was last year.
Like
Who
on
knows,
PC.
man? Years are long and weird now. I don't know what's going on.
I remember all the praise this game
Time
was
is
getting.
a flat circle.
I also remember Colin going on a rant about this game. So
Colin was going around for some completely different reasons.
For reference, the initial release date for the original, because Delvin's playing the final cut. Disco Elysium, the original release, was October 15th, 2019.
Yeah. I remember when it came out, this game got all this praise, and it was like Game of the Year and stuff like that. Me playing it, honestly,
Got a 10 from IGN.
I don't see it yet. I'm going to try it again to see how unique it is, but I don't see no Game of the Year in my opinion. It's a unique, weird game, and I know sometimes people connotate unique for good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. So I'm going to get into it, and if I get into the story, I'll let you know. But so far, I'm like, this is weird. I don't know if I want to continue playing it or not, but we'll see.
Okay. Cool.
Good to know.
Anything else going on this weekend with you?
Also, and this is going to make Donnie happy, and it's going to make Donnie sad at the same time. I got Outriders. This is funny.
Mm-hmm.
I got it on Game Pass. I was going to play it on Game Pass. Then someone bought it for me for PS5 for my birthday.
All right.
So
I don't know. I don't know why that would make Donnie sad. The game has full crossplay. Donnie and you can still play together. So
no, because
Donnie's not playing this game.
Donnie wants me to play on Game Pass. Game Pass podcast.
Game Pass.
He just wants me to support Game Pass anywhere I can. The more I'm off my PS5, the happier Donnie is. So, I was gonna play it on Xbox and play it on Game Pass, but since I got on PS5, I might as well play it on my PS5.
Yeah.
I haven't started it yet, but I'm super
should.
interested in playing it. Looks cool.
Donnie.
It's fun.
Donnie.
It's a fun game. It's the funny thing is, if you took out like the gear and the leveling and all that stuff, I think Donnie might enjoy it just because if you're playing as the Devastator, you can just smash and bash and beat things up. But when you throw in all the other stuff, it's not a Donnie game.
Yeah, I kind of figured that much.
I haven't picked it up yet because I was waiting for a bill to come out. That's why I totally forgot. And when I woke up this morning, I had a notification from my bank that my debit card had been used, and I opened my bank. It's like, oh, okay, so Disney Plus's yearly subscription came out.
Yeah.
I mean, for reference, for most people, the yearly subscription probably not worth it. But hi, they added a star here, so like for reference, they just added "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia" to Disney Plus here in Canada. So
that's cool. Yearly subscription is 100% worth it to me. By the way,
yeah, it's worth it for sure. I love Disney.
Well, I mean,
they got so much good content.
I mean, Dev has young kids, and Delvin.
Man, even if I didn't have them young kids, I'd still be watching all them Disney movies. Like, I'm a Disney person. I'm a Disney kid at heart. So I think I enjoy the Disney stuff more than my kids do.
Originally, but originally I bought the subscription for my mom, and now that Star's on it, I think I use it more than she does.
Yeah, I use Disney Plus probably the most, if anything. Disney Plus and HBO Max more than anything else because, like I said, MCU, Star Wars, that alone will keep me on Disney Plus. Then you add the Disney afternoon cartoons.
Didn't they just add the old Clone Wars cartoon, like the old 2D animated style?
Yes, and I haven't watched it yet. I can't wait to watch that. But yeah, Disney Plus and HBO Max are the only things I really use a lot of. All the other apps I have, I don't really use them that much.
Yeah, we're typically Netflix, Tubi, and AT&T TV.
So. Tubi's fantastic, by the way, too.
I don't know what Tubi is.
Just another app that's got a bunch of old stuff that's free.
Okay.
Denver the Last Dinosaur.
What?
My God.
It's 100% on there.
I don't know what that is.
Bruno the Kid is also on there.
Wow.
Don't know what that is.
Bruno the Kid is a cartoon show with Bruce Willis plays a kid.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, it's actually Bruce Willis, too. That's the weird thing about it.
Yeah.
It's diehard Bruce Willis. Probably one of the high points of his fame, playing a cartoon character. It's not like a Bruce Willis sounded like. It's Bruce Willis.
So let me get that bag real quick. Run me that money. So my week was interesting. Not a whole lot happened. A lot of work shenanigans, but then got the second dose of the Moderna shot, which basically deleted my Thursday.
Same happened to me.
Oh my God! I was not expecting.
You know what? I don't want to hear it because again, I'm not eligible for the vaccine of any kind until September, and I was gonna go get my stupid hair mishap fixed, but as of yesterday, we're back in lockdown for 4 weeks, but nothing's closed except hairdressers and patios. Thanks. Totally a great strategy for lockdown. Everything's open except the hairdressers and patios.
Shenanigans. Well, you're gonna hear about it anyway, because that shot put me on my ass. It's real bad. Real bad. Left work early.
I didn't work
at home and watched. Oh, see, I made the mistake of going to work, and by about 11 o'clock, I was like, I feel like trash. I'm gonna go home. And they're like, yeah, you should. Mitch just went home for the same reasons. I was like, God, I should have just stayed home. And then I found out we don't even have to use our sick time. We actually can code it for COVID stuff, so that was even better. But yeah, I just
felt
came
like I got beat up.
Yeah, dude, for real. My whole upper body was sore. I was coughing. It was awful. It was not fun, but it did allow me to catch up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 5, which was awesome. It was so weird watching a show, and I believe I watched like 11 episodes. They're all like 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
45 to an hour. So all the episodes just feel long, and I'm just like, this episode is still going. Like, I'm waiting for it to just be off. And then on top of that, I'm like, wait a minute. There's still more to go in the season. Like, I'm so not used to 22 episode like arcs. Yeah. and then the episodes all being 45 minutes to an hour, I'm sitting here like, we got to be at the end of the season, right? No, I'm only halfway done with it. I'm just like, oh my God, there's so much here.
Yeah.
I love it. I
And
miss this. This is the kind
I,
of stuff that I want.
I'm bringing this to the table because it was a conversation Deb brought up in the Discord. I brought up how I liked season 2. Like I liked the whole show over. That's why I started rewatching it. And Deb goes, season 2. Here's my point, okay? Season 2 has its faults. Totally understand that. That whole war, like the two sides of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing goes on far too long. However, season 2, infinitely better on the whole than that whole stupid Maveth arc from season 3. Like, the
I don't
whole.
even remember it. That's the
My
thing. Season
So
2 and season
essentially,
3, I won't rewatch because I don't know.
so
We're good.
essentially,
That's
they
why I couldn't
kill
rewatch
they
anything.
kill Grant Ward, but then Grant Ward is still there because his
Mhm.
body is infested by
Oh yeah, that part.
worm. Yeah, that whole arc
No.
is stupid. So
My favorite season is the season with Ghost Rider.
yeah, season
That
4.
was 4, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, 4 was good.
That
yeah.
was amazing.
And
Well, because
that's where I
it
ended.
was great. It was great because they had the whole 3 separate arcs. There was the Ghost Rider arc, the LMD arc, and then the Darkhold arc, and so.
Ghost Rider legit looked better on that show than he did in the movies.
I mean, to be fair, that show came out in what?
We even mention or even consider those movies like those.
I
we
mean,
don't talk about those.
I mean,
People like the first one.
I mean, I like the first
Oh
one
my
with Nicolas
God.
Cage.
Oh my God.
I do not like the second one where he pees fire. So there's that.
I didn't even watch that one.
Anyways, essentially, like Ghost Rider looks better in that show because Delvin, that season came out in like I don't know 2015. Ghost Rider 1 came out in like 2004. So maybe that's why he looks better.
Even so,
I mean, it's Nicolas Cage. as
Hey,
Ghost Rider.
hey,
It's just-
leave Nick Cage alone, okay?
Nick Cage is
goes
great,
hard.
but he's not. He's no, just no.
that man was almost Superman. Think about
He
that.
was almost.
His son's name is Kal-El, so think about that.
Yeah.
So he likes Superman. That's all that means to me.
Correct. He also has a very.
Doesn't mean he should play
also has
Superman or Ghost
Yeah.
Rider.
He also has
It
a
just means he
very
likes-
pink leather jacket with wings on the back and the Superman symbol, and it's great. I'll find a picture and send it to you later. Actually, I might
Pink?
post it. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll post it in the Discord.
Why pink?
I don't know. It's
Oh,
great.
okay.
But
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I watched some Agents of Shield, and then Outriders came out, and I wanted to play, but I was way too tired to do so. But I did finally get into some Outriders, and that game is a lot of fun. Unfortunately, for people on like PS4 and older generations and PC, it's a buggy, hard to get into mess. But I haven't had any issues, and everybody knows with PS5 has had like basically no problems getting in and playing the game. But anybody on like last gen, all kind of connectivity issues. But hopefully, I think all of those are supposed to be ironed out by now, so we should be good. I also played some Ratchet and Clank just to see how good or how well it looked or felt in 60, and that game has no business looking as good as it does. It's pretty ridiculous.
Delvin, if you wish
That's
to
awesome.
see the
Ooh.
jacket, I sent it to you.
okay.
Whew, that game is smooth. So it hypes me up even more for the next one because the way they're just masters of what they do.
This jacket, it's certainly a thing.
Have mercy.
I sent it to both of you.
Yeah, I'll look at that later. But Insomniac, masters of their craft. This patch wasn't supposed to come out, but it came out early, and it's good. So if you like Ratchet and Clank, I would suggest playing it in 60 frames per second as a primer before you get to the next one. Because the game is it's gorgeous. It plays really well, and they're just fun little platformers. So I would definitely check that out. Other than that, that's been all for my week. I got to be up at the ass crack of dawn tomorrow to migrate a server, so that'll be fun for work. But
Sounds like a blast.
yeah, early morning. Gotta be up at 5. Gotta be at work at 5. It's not fun. Not fun.
Delvin, your thoughts on the jacket?
It's something. It's weird because It's a mix of the jacket that Daryl wears from The Walking Dead
Yep.
and Superman, but it's pink. So I
Superman.
want to say, is it Supergirl?
I don't know. It's also got a poodle underneath the Superman symbol. So
Yeah, so it's very, very confusing. Are you repping Superman, Supergirl, Super Poodle?
I don't know. It's Nick Cage. Nick Cage is
It's Nick
fantastic.
Cage being Nick Cage at his most Nick Cage. That's
Yes.
what that is.
Uh,
All right, so we got some questions. Only a couple. So
Well,
let's just
I
hop
mean,
right into them.
we got one question, but you decided to omit it. So
I think
That
I think
wasn't
we
a
should add
question.
it. By the way, I think we should
No,
add that question.
no,
Yes.
it's not even a question. So I'm not even going to entertain that. It's nonsense. So our first question comes from the pastor, Lucas Hamswisher Rose. He says, "Hello, PSX crew. We all know that Delvin, the king of nothing, doesn't like multiplayer games.
correct.
That Ninja Dev doesn't like romance relationship management games, and Haley doesn't like playing as men in games or prefer
Okay,
games
stop.
without platinums."
Stop. I'm calling it false right now. Okay. Anytime
Can
I
I
talk,
just finish his question and then you can do that?
All right, go ahead. I got to call Lucas out on this.
You acting like
So-
Phoenix, right? Objection.
Right?
It's funny because I've never played those games.
And he says, "So as a fun thought exercise, everyone else try to design a game that you think they would consider ignoring their personal preferences to play." Good luck.
Okay, so I don't have a preference against playing as men in games. I have a preference against playing as games where you're in high school as a boy. I don't care. I'll play games where you have to be a dude. Like one of my favorite games is Watch Dogs 2. You play as Marcus. Okay, that's fine. I got no problem with that. I got no problem playing as a dude in games. My problem with Persona is if I'm going to spend that long in a game in high school, I don't want to be a boy. Like I already did that for 1.5 years of high school, and then I came out. So, no, we're just not going to do that. But other games where you have to play as a dude, I don't really care. Now, if the game gives you a choice, of course I'm going to play as a woman, but like, otherwise, I don't really care. Anyways, for a game Delvin would ignore his preferences for, I don't think I can make a multiplayer game that Delvin would ignore his preferences for.
That's already happened, by the way.
I was going to
Avengers.
say he played it. Yeah.
Avengers.
He did-
100%.
Did you play with anyone or did you just play Avengers?
I
A
played with my
single
son.
player?
I played with Delvin,
There you go.
little Delvin,
Okay.
and I would play more with him too. Once we get time, I'll play the PS5 version with him. Yeah, sure.
I was going to say Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights. I'll
You can
probably play.
Gotham Knights. Yeah.
Donnie is big mad. Donnie is big mad.
I think it's a
I'm
good
ignoring
question.
Johnny right now.
I think it's a good question,
I'm ignoring him altogether. Just nope.
and I have an answer for it.
I'm so tired of fucking Game Pass.
Game Pass podcast.
For reference,
Yeah.
Donnie, I had an
I'm
actual
so-
answer to that question as well. He just doesn't want to ask it. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Fuck Game Pass.
for a game that Dev would ignore his things, I don't no. I seriously don't think I can make a game with romance things because, for example, he's already stated when he plays Mass Effect, he doesn't care if his companions die. So,
Nope.
literally,
even a little
I don't
bit.
think I can make one that would ignore. Anyways, games without a platinum. I've played plenty of games without a platinum. One of my favorite games without a platinum is Infamous Festival of Blood. Like that game doesn't have a platinum, but it's fun. Anyways, you play as Cole as a vampire. For anyone who doesn't know what that is. By the way, if you want to play that game, you got to get it fast because the PS3 store is going to bye-bye.
I got a game that Dev would probably play that has romance in it. What if I made a dating sim, but with Rick James? Rick James Simulator. Yes.
No.
You get
I'm not
to
playing that.
you get to be Rick James. You get to lick the girls side of their faces and say, "I'm Rick James, bitch."
All right, Dev,
Nah.
your turn.
I'm not doing it.
What do you think you can make a game for Delvin?
Gotham Knights. I don't have to. Games for him to play.
Throw some superheroes in it and be like, "All right, here you go."
I mean, I'm gonna play Gotham Knights too, so we're all playing Gotham Knights probably.
I'm just saying, like I know that there are multiplayer games that Delvin will play. With the right stuff. You give him some superhero stuff, and he'll jump in and play it.
Transformers
so we're
also.
good.
A good
Transformers, absolutely.
A good Transformers multiplayer game.
Donnie is
Yeah, and for
Don-
Haley, just Persona as a female, and I think she'll play that.
Yes,
I
she
mean,
ain't.
again, I have literally said, if you make Persona and I can play as a woman, I will play it. I will give it a shot. I've never played a Persona game before, but I'm not going back and playing Persona 3. Sorry. Delvin Jr. called me out on this after the show last week. What's the message he gave me here? Sorry, this makes sort of lame podcasting, but I want to make sure I get it right for Delvin Jr. Anyways, it was Persona 3.
Rick James Simulator Dev. Think about it.
Nah, Doc. The only game I'm playing where I can romance somebody would have been if I could have romanced Fetch in Infamous.
It's Persona 3 Portable that Delvin Jr. says has the female protagonist. But no, I'm not going back because I don't have a portable. Like, I don't have PSP or a Vita, so I'm not going back to play that because you can't get it any other way. You make a new one where I can do that, sure, I'll give it a shot.
They should remake those games and put them on PS5. They really should.
Put them on everything.
Yeah. Except Game Pass.
Yeah. Fuck Game Pass.
Donnie.
It's the worst.
So Jim Ryan believes in generations. I don't know that. Does he believe in Game Pass?
Dev doesn't even believe in Jim Ryan.
I mean, Jim Ryan.
Lion Ryan. Screw that dude. Get him out of here. He's got to go. And so, just continuing on with the trend of Game Pass, we might as well just answer the next couple of questions because they're all freaking Game Pass related. This is a PlayStation podcast, people. I don't want to hear about your Game Pass questions, all right? There's a show for that. It's called the Game Pass Podcast, a.k.a. the Xbox Empire. You can ask them all your Game Pass related nonsense, all right?
I mean,
I've had it up to here.
I mean, unfortunately for you, Dev.
Tired of hearing about
unfortunately for you, Dev. It's actually accurate and totally appropriate to be asking this on this podcast. I don't care that you don't care.
I don't care that you don't care that you don't care that I don't care. Objection.
All right, calm down.
So Hollywood Bones asks, "What in the world is going on over at Xbox Game Pass, and how do you think PlayStation should or will respond?" Fuck them. That's how.
And a legit answer, and not Dev being that the Game Pass question.
That is Dev answer.
I think the for reference for anyone who doesn't know, this is in reference to the fact that MLB The Show is going to be on Xbox Game Pass day one. I think this is more of an MLB decision than it was a Sony decision. I think MLB was like, no, we're making this decision for you. I do not think this was a Sony decision. If it was, I'd be very surprised. However,
I
you
think
are
it was.
correct.
And I don't want to go too much into detail about all the MLB stuff, only because that is going to be our topic of the show. So let's just answer the question. How do you think PlayStation should or will respond?
I think PlayStation won't respond because that seems to be their move. Should they respond? I don't know. Start a Game Pass competitor that's better than PS Now because PS Now is not good.
So here's my thoughts on it. My actual for real thoughts on it. Don't do anything. Just keep doing what you do. Make good games. Be Nintendo. Don't play their stupid game, okay? You don't need to make a Game Pass competitor. You don't need to compete with them. You're playing a different game. Continue to make great games on your system. That's it. That's your response. You don't need to have a Game Pass competitor, honestly. Like, you are a Game Pass competitor because you have games that people want to play. So continue pumping out great exclusives and continue doing what PlayStation does. And please do something with PS Now. Just put some more backwards compatibility stuff on there with PS Now and call it a day.
I would improve the service and the latency. And
I will say this. Do they have to respond? They're king of the mountain.
Exactly. They don't.
When you're king of the mountain, do you have to? It's kind of like the whole WWE, WCW thing. WWE did not respond to WCW till WCW started winning. And it's kind of the same thing now. Like, hey, Xbox is doing great things. I'm not going to knock them for what they want to do. Game Pass is a great service, things like that. But even with that, PlayStation is still outselling them by a lot. So they don't have to do nothing until eventually, if it ever happens, Xbox catches up or at least makes it competitive. Now, once it starts getting competitive to that point, then you got to kind of say, all right, maybe we need to do something.
See,
But
once it starts getting to that point, that's already too late. You need to
yeah,
stop that before it happens. But I don't think that they will, and I don't think they honestly need to. I mean, people buy PlayStations to play the PlayStation exclusives, kind of the same way they buy Nintendo. And the beauty
yes,
of having the PlayStation is all the other games are going to come to it as well. Game Pass is great if you're a gamer who is a buffet gamer. You want to play everything. That's why you got to go to Game Pass.
and I will
That's
say
that's it.
this.
I'm not that gamer, so I don't really care.
I will say this. When we get to the topic, I think there's a little more to this whole MLB the Show situation on Game Pass. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yep. So the next question comes from DSpin67. Our last question. Okay. He says he's curious about those of a PS5 and a Series
It's
S or
just
X. Do
heresy.
you
It's not
pay
the
for the show 21 on PS5 or just get it with Game Pass for X or S?
I got it for PS5, and I'll tell you why I got it for PS5 because I wanted the Jackie Robinson Collector's Edition. Point blank, I wanted that. I wanted to play it on there, and plus, not to get too much on the topic, I don't know how it's going to play on Xbox.
It'll play just fine.
Have
It
have you
probably
just
will
been
run even
ignoring
better.
Johnny's comments or like?
Yeah, I don't.
But
This is our show. Us three are talking. I don't need to listen to Donnie and Peyton do his
I
comments. No.
think Donnie's got kind of a point here, just for reference. So
but I'm used to playing it on PlayStation. Why should I change? Plus, I want the Jackie Robinson Collector's Edition. I already pre-ordered it and paid for it. I'm not going to change. And I'm used to playing on PlayStation. I like the feel on PlayStation. Hopefully it plays just as well on Xbox as well, but PlayStation my home with that game. I'm used to playing it there.
Yeah.
I mean, can you
for
get
me,
the
it's
Jackie
like
Robinson edition on Xbox anyways?
I don't know.
probably. I would imagine if you want the collector's edition, I'm sure it exists there as well. Get it wherever the hell you want to get it. If you want to pay $70 for it and play it on PlayStation, get it there. If you don't, if it's a game that like you're not super into and you've got an Xbox or a Series, or you got either Xbox, get it on Xbox. I mean,
let me also say this: if I was going to play it on Xbox, I just wouldn't have bought it. I would have just played it as Game Pass.
yeah.
So I wouldn't have bought the Jackie Robinson version if that was the case. I would just play it on Game Pass.
Get it wherever you feel like playing it. Like I'm sure Mo will get it on Xbox. That's where he likes to play games. He's got a PlayStation, but he likes to play games on Xbox. So get it wherever the hell you want to play the games. It's that simple.
Hey, I can't do that. I cannot do that. I literally cannot do that. I'm sorry. That would literally be hilarious, but I'm pretty sure I would be removed if I did that. I'm sorry. Like literally, I would love to give you one because it would make this way more interesting. But I'm pretty sure he'd just pull me from the.
I'm not. No, it can be absurd. It can be absurd. I don't care. So yeah, Donnie's stupid question, which I was gonna ask, but I have to give him crap just because he's Donnie, and this is what we do. He says, "What game should Sony put on Game Pass next?"
God of War.
That's the question. Fuck no.
God of War. 28.
God of War.
What difference does it make? God of War came out 2018? It's old. Sony done made all the money they can make off of it now. Let it go to Game Pass. Get some money from that Game Pass. Yeah, give them God of War. Don't give them the sequel.
You give them garbage. You give them trash. That's what you give them.
You tell them, hey,
here's some scraps.
here's one of our best showings as of God of War. You want to play this sequel, which I know you want to. Come over to PlayStation. Get a PlayStation. That's all. Simple. Problem solved.
They could do that with any of the things. They could do it with Horizon as well. Yep. Go, hey, you want to play Horizon? Come on over here. So, I mean, I don't, like, again, and I know I'm the outlier here, and this is how business works, but again, I don't care. I mean, granted, I sort of care about the Bethesda thing, but that's a whole different story. My point here is that I don't care about exclusives. Like, if Sony starts putting their games on Xbox, I don't care. More people get to play great games. I really don't care.
I 100% care, by the way.
Like, literally, like, if Sony wants to put their games on Xbox and Xbox wants to do the same, go ahead, do it, because it just benefits everybody in the long run. I mean, it doesn't benefit the business, but it would benefit the consumers. Is my point. So
Yeah,
I will say this.
I don't care.
Only reason why I care is if everything is on one console, then what's the point of owning all three consoles? Then I would just own one console. Like if everything's on PS5, why do I need Xbox for?
I know. Okay, but my point there being is that like. Again, that's not
There
good
will
for
always
business.
be differential. There will always be things that differentiate the stuff.
Yeah, like
For
that's
me, it's like I don't have an Xbox because there aren't games on Xbox that I want to play. That's period. Point blank. I am not the buffet style gamer. I don't play everything. I see games that I like and I play those games. Things that interest me, I will play those games. The vast majority of things that are on Game Pass, either I've already played or have no interest in. On Xbox, there's only been like one game that I really wanted to play, and that was Gears. And then I played Gears and didn't like the way it played at all. So there's nothing on Xbox that's driving me over there. Game Pass is an amazing service. I've said it time and time again, but it's just not a service for me. Delvin, your idea with putting God of War on Game Pass is a fantastic idea, especially when you're like, you ain't getting a sequel. Here's a taste. Here's a
Yeah.
taste. Now, if you want the full meal, you got to come over to the PlayStation side. You got to get a PlayStation. That is a genius idea. That's like a Trojan horse. Here you go. Here's a taste of the greatness that's over here on this box. And if you want the rest of it, you got to come here. Like that's a genius idea. And there will always be differentiating things between the boxes.
Yeah,
There's never going to be a time when everything is everywhere. It's just just not the way the world works.
And I fully understand that. I'm just saying, like, if they started doing it, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But again, like Delvin said, it's for business reasons. If Xbox has their games on PlayStation, there's no reason to have an Xbox.
Yeah.
Or a PC that can handle it. Although that's a different strain of contention because Outriders isn't available on Game Pass for PC. It's console only. So
I will say what I said before, and I've said it again. This is the best time to own all three consoles. Not price-wise, by the way. Price-wise, it's the worst. But in terms of gaming-wise, there's legit reasons to own all three consoles.
Or he's great.
Whether
Thank you, Donnie.
Whether it's owning Xbox and getting Game Pass, owning PlayStation and getting those exclusives, or owning the Switch and getting the portability and exclusives. This is one of the best times of gaming ever.
Actually, funny story about the Switch. While I was at dinner last night, I noticed that they had a Switch, which, makes sense because they've got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. Literally, I was like, oh, so what are you guys playing on Switch? My dad pipes up, oh, we play it more than they do, which is shocking because my dad hates video games. And he turns around and goes, I want one. Okay.
Haley, I'll explain to you offline why he's probably playing more than they are.
Hey, Delvin, you don't need to. My dad's a weirdo. Let's just leave it at that. I'm well aware of why he's playing the stupid. Like I'm well aware of why he's playing
women.
No, he wants one for himself. Like he literally was like, "Now I want one for myself." I was like, "All right, well, you should have told me that earlier because I had one. I don't anymore, unfortunately. My mom uses it."
Oh, the Switch.
Ori's great, by the way.
All right. Ori was nice. I enjoyed it. It was cool. I played it for a couple of hours. It's nice. All right, let's transition into some news, and then we'll get back to a little bit more about PlayStation and Game Pass and all that good stuff. So, what's your first little story of the week, Haley?
So CD Projekt has a new strategy, which some people in the Discord were not fans of, but essentially. Earlier this week, it was announced that CD Projekt has acquired a studio in Vancouver, which will now become CD Projekt Vancouver. And then essentially, they're going to release. They're going to work on their games simultaneously now. So instead of just working on one AAA release and then moving on to the next, they're going to have two teams working on them simultaneously. This comes also after the news that they have potentially canceled the multiplayer portion of Cyberpunk 2077 in favor of putting it into the existing Cyberpunk 2077 that's out there now. And also, like, for reference, probably isn't a new strategy because they've been working on The Witcher and Cyberpunk because they're working on that next gen port that's also coming in the second half of 2021. So both of their next gen versions of their games are coming second half 2021. Free, of course, to those who own them. This also means that, like, they're working on Gwent as well. There was an image they posted of roadmap, but like the updates for Cyberpunk, to fix the game, uh, next gen patch, and potentially free DLC for this year. And then for The Witcher, it was I forget what the image was, but I know that like one of them was like next gen update and then Gwent. So oh right, the mobile game they put out for The Witcher, the ARG. I mean, Donnie, I would love that. I literally just saw that. Yeah, I would love that, but I don't know that that's going to happen. We'll talk about that in a
Let
second.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's forget about
Um,
the chat for right now and continue the show.
no, I like interacting with the chat, which is weird because I wasn't really a fan of going live with this. But here, anyways, I don't know. They've been doing this for a while. I would have to assume there's no way that they would have both the Witcher next gen update and Cyberpunk 2077's PS5 and Xbox Series X updates available by second half of the year. Now, of course, there's a chance that they could be delayed again, but they've obviously been working on both at the same time for them to have that tentative window of second half 2021. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. I know Kevin wasn't a fan of it, so
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like pretty much all game studios kind of do this when they're working on multiple games.
yeah.
You've got two teams that are working on stuff. Like I don't feel like them working on The Witcher is going to really detract any from them, working on Cyberpunk. I feel like they've already been doing that. Now they're just letting us know. Like it's just out there now that yeah, we're working on both because this is coming, and we're still working on Cyberpunk. It's
Yeah.
just a damn shame that Cyberpunk ended up releasing in the way it was. They should have just gave them more time and allowed them to actually, do that. And that's one of those things with these lead up to games. Like sometimes you just don't need to say anything until it's close to being done, because then you
Yeah.
put yourself in a hole where
Yeah.
investors want this to come out to be able to make their money. You've got the consumers that are waiting for it, and then they get upset when it keeps getting delayed because people either made plans or done this around the release of the game. So it's like, as a medium, like we just need to be okay with there not being a ton of news about certain stuff. Like, let us know when it's close already. Like, this is one of the reasons why I really miss like print in gaming, because you didn't have so much stuff, so much news. Like, you knew about a game when it was like close to release, you knew about a game when it was announced, and then you wouldn't know anything until we got the preview or the review or whatnot. So
Yeah.
I just think that they need to not have these ridiculously long cycles of here's when the game is announced and you see this one little vertical slice and then you don't see anything about the game for another 4 years, or it takes 4 years to come out and you're constantly like giving us these little snippets. It's like, bro, where's the game? And then it
Yeah.
comes out in Cyberpunk and it's in Cyberpunk. Like, just can we all just be Bethesda and be like, here's Fallout 4, and then they'll have it in 4 months. Like we need more of that.
No,
Yeah.
I'm okay with the long form like things. Like I don't think that every studio needs to pull what Bethesda did with Fallout 4 or 76. But you also have a point though that like Cyberpunk was a completely different ball of wax. I think it is absolutely hilarious, by the way, Dev, that you brought up in the Discord. You can't fix the broken square on the other side of your PlayStation store because you returned it and it's not on the store anymore. So you
It
can't get
just
rid
sits
of the
there.
broken square.
It's
For
just
anyone who's
there.
for anyone who's unaware, like I said last week, I managed to fix the square tiles on the side of my PlayStation Store, but Dev can't because he doesn't own Cyberpunk anymore, so he can't re-download it to install it and then delete it. So that's funny. For 8,000 words though on this latest 1.2 patch, Jesus, like that's
Yeah.
the longest patch list I've ever seen.
If your patch list is that long, the game should not have come out. It just shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Point blank.
I think
And the
They should
sad part
just
is that's not even fixing everything.
I
And that's
know.
still
Yeah.
not
at
even
all.
the next gen version.
It's
Like
also
it's
still not even on the PlayStation Store over 100
Yeah.
days later.
They need to just stay silent. Don't tell us about hey, we've got another studio opening up, or don't say anything unless it's like patch notes or hey, this is what we fixed on this game.
That
Until
wasn't
you have
that wasn't CD
everything.
Projekt like Red though. That was the ownership group, not the studio
Yeah,
itself.
we don't need to hear nothing from them at all
Yeah.
until
Under promise and
nothing.
over deliver. Don't say a word and then just deliver.
Yeah, just deliver.
Just deliver.
Just like,
That's
hey,
it.
here's a bunch. Only thing we need to hear from them right now is patch notes. This is fixed. Next gen patch, or something coming out. Because
Yeah. Don't give us
everything.
dates. Don't say when things are happening. Just
Yes.
deliver patches and fixes because right now y'all can't be trusted.
Because anything else they say at this point is going to get emphatically booed. Like so,
Yeah.
it's no use to even wasting your time doing it. It's no use.
Yeah. Yep. All bad right now for them. Delvin, what you got for us?
Speaking of all bad, the Skywalker saga, the Lego Skywalker saga, has been delayed indefinitely. I knew this was going to happen, unfortunately, but it's going to come out. It's just this is a large undertaking.
Wasn't this
It's
game
all
supposed to come out last year?
yes, and it's supposed
Every
to come
game
out.
was supposed to come out last year.
I think it was supposed to come out June this year too. Now, but
It was supposed to come out spring 2021. They didn't have a date for it, I don't think.
yeah, this is all the Star Wars games, so I feel like this is a huge undertaking. And
Well, I mean, you also have to remember, I think, because if it's all of them, some of them didn't have dialogue, so they would probably want to make the games consistent as a whole. So, like, I believe Lego Star Wars 1, 2, 3, and I think 4. I don't remember. I know that most of them didn't have dialogue. They were all the funny, like, gags and all that for whatnot.
yeah, then you add in the whole COVID situation, and which we already knew that a lot of games were going to get delayed because of the whole COVID-19 situation. So this is just another one that's I'm fine with it because when it's done, it's done. Just give it to us when it's done. If anything, like the Cyberpunk situation has shown us, let these developers have the time to fix their games, and when they're done, just release them then.
Yeah, 100%. Like, if it's not done, it's not done, and we don't want to be like Cyberpunk has shown us. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Put it out when it's ready.
yeah.
You'll make
Don't
your
give it-
money. Put it
Don't
out
worry
when it's
about
ready.
giving us release dates or nothing like that. Just put it out when it's ready. Like, hey,
They're
when it's
wrong.
ready, like,
Give me all the release dates. Give it
nah.
to me.
Because
The reason why I say don't give you the release dates is because if you don't hit that release date, much like how you were upset about not being able to play a game because you had taken vacation time off for it, and then now you have to change that. Like, don't give us a date until you know for sure that
Yes.
date is ready.
I mean,
You can give us a window.
It's better
But
that
there's no point in giving dates.
It's better that they give me a release date so I can book vacation time around it, and then when it doesn't hit, I can cancel the vacation time and reschedule it for the next one. So
Okay, then when that happens, I don't want to hear you complaining about it next time.
Yeah.
You were big
That's
mad. You
valid-
were big mad.
I
Valid
was
point.
big mad because they canceled it the day before the vacation time, so I couldn't cancel it. Not
That can still happen. That's just the thing. It can still happen.
I don't want to hear it from either of you. Big meaties. That's what you are.
But yeah, let me know when the game's out, when it's coming out. Like you're like, hey,
Yeah.
the game just went gold, it's coming out. Here's your release date for it.
No,
I'm
give me
fine with
release
that.
dates. I want them. I need them.
I'm good.
Yeah. There's enough games to play. Let me know right before it's ready. When it's gone gold, give me a date then, because then I know it's ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't know much about this Star Wars game because I don't really play the Lego game. So
They're good.
I
They're
just hope
fun.
that when it comes out, it's done, it's finished, it's good, and people love them. Like that's my hope for that.
They're fun games. And I feel like this is I guess this is the perfect time to come out with this game because the Skywalker saga is done.
Yeah.
And it seems like most of the Star Wars stuff now is going to be on TV for now until they
Yeah.
kind of reboot the universe. So when it comes out, it comes out. I'm excited for it. Hey.
Yep. It'll be good times. Good times. All right, so our last little story is we got our PS Plus games, the rest of them for April. We knew
Oh
we were
yeah,
getting Oddworld.
fuck
Um,
Oddworld.
I'm still mad that they have the audacity to have like a collector's edition of that game. Like I am just like, really? That's whew, yeah, man. Y'all really think we need a collector's edition of Oddworld? That's special. But
Oddworld
we're
Day and
also
Date.
getting, yeah, oh my God. We're also getting Zombie Army 4 Dead War, which apparently is a lot of fun. And then Days Gone, which some people have a little bit of frustration because that is also on the PS5, PS Plus for PS5 collection. So,
Yeah, I mean,
but
I understand
overall,
it
good
because
list.
the PS Plus collection for PS5 isn't available to PS4 users. So, I mean, it makes sense that not every game every month is going to be great for everyone. Like for,
Well, it is, but
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
but for example, like let's say I owned all aside from Oddworld because it's coming out the day that it's released. But like, let's say last month that I owned everything that was there. Okay, but it's still great for other people. Like
It's,
some months are just not great for people who own everything. Like I already owned Days
uh,
Gone. I platinumed it. I
I,
literally like took me 9 days. It's a great game. I love it, and I
I
can't
I
wait
will
for
say
the.
this.
Let me finish. I can't wait for the inevitable sequel. But I'm excited to try Zombie Army Dead War or Zombie Army 4, I guess it is. Excited to try that. I'll add Oddworld to my library, but I'm not playing it because fuck Oddworld. You know,
Why do you hate Oddworld so much?
I'm not the only one. Have you seen the
Yeah.
Discord?
I don't.
No, he
I
hasn't
don't.
seen the Discord. Come on.
No,
Let's be real.
I haven't.
Literally,
But
the entire Discord
I
is
don't.
just like fuck
I don't.
Oddworld. Like,
I don't care about it, but I don't hate it. Like whatever. It's like whatever. It's a
no,
dumb game.
literally, like Oddworld should like. I don't understand how there's so many of these Oddworld games. Like, I never hear anyone talk about Oddworld, and he's still making these games.
Somebody buy
Apparently,
them.
people outside of PSVG really enjoy them.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
I've been in
apparently
other Discords that are excited about it. I'm just like,
the MTTG
wow,
Discord
really?
is extremely excited about it. And I'm just like, why? Why?
Hey,
I will
there's
say
something out
this.
there for everyone.
If you look at the PS Plus games for this month, and you look at the, the live with gold games, I think we're doing quite fine.
I mean,
There's,
does anybody really still look at Live with Gold? I mean,
I
or
don't
Gold,
think so.
whatever it's called. Yeah,
I mean,
They
because Game Pass, right?
you even got Gamertag Radio saying just get rid of games with
just
gold.
yeah, just kill it. Just kill Games. Games with Gold is horrible. Just Game Pass is where it's at with that now. So these games are great. Whether you
Yeah,
have them or
I
not,
agree.
that's a great lineup. You get a new game
Yeah,
and two very good games. That's solid. What more can you ask
Yep.
for?
Right.
Even if you have the game, you can't really be mad. And if you don't have Oddworld, whether you like it or not, is you're getting a brand new game.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. There
And
are plenty of
it,
months where all the games that come out, I have them all. And I'm
yeah,
still like, man, that's a great list. I have them all, but that's a great list, especially
yeah.
for people who, aren't buying a bunch of stuff. Like you can have PS Plus and just be like, I don't need to buy games because I just keep getting them.
yeah.
Especially if
And
you don't have a ton of time to play games.
didn't they give a new game last month as well?
What did they? Yeah, they gave
This month-
I don't
Maquette.
remember.
Yeah, the puzzle game Maquette. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So they've been giving new games almost every month. Didn't they also give
Yep.
Destruction All Stars? So
I
In
mean,
February,
yeah,
yeah.
yep.
Yep.
Although to be fair, rip Destruction All Stars because you cannot find a multiplayer match in that at all.
Unfortunately, this is true. And I think it's actually a pretty good game. It just there's so many other things that people want to play that it's hard to
Donnie.
play everything.
Donnie.
Donnie is being a disruption to this podcast.
Hey, no, Donnie's being great.
It's only because you let him. I go into Xbox Empire and do the same thing, and he ignores me the same way. He'll let me
Hey.
get one or two in, but it's like we only exist to disrupt each other, and you guys are letting him win.
Hey,
I'm
you
not
know
doing
what?
anything.
I'm having a
Stop it.
blast, so that's what matters.
No, that's not what matters.
Yeah, it is.
Stop it. All right. So let's get into it. MLB The Show, a PlayStation exclusive that has now been forced by MLB to become a multi-platform game is
Yep,
launching day and date into motherfucking Game Pass.
it's great.
I don't care about this game. I don't play it. I have never played the MLB The Show games. So
They're
it
very
coming to
good.
Game Pass
I'm not a sports gamer,
doesn't
so
really bother me that much because it's just not a game that I'm going to play. I'm glad that other people will be able to play it. I just hate exclusives launching into Game Pass. And I just have to forget that this is it exclusive because it's no longer an exclusive because MLB forced its hand. They're like, look here, you sons of bitches, you guys are going to put this game other places because we want to make more money. And
hey,
so now it's on other systems and it's coming day and date, which it's an amazing grab for Xbox and Game Pass and gamers in general. Like, because now you have more options, and that's always a good thing for the gaming public. You have
fourth
the
chair is
option to
my
pay
cat.
$70 or play it on Game Pass for free.
Uh,
So
I,
I'm not a sports girl, so I unless you count Rocket League, which I wouldn't because it's rocket powered soccer and it's literally an entire like.
that's a sport,
I,
future sport. One day
sure,
we all will be outside in our
whatever.
cars hitting soccer balls into nets.
oh yeah, let's do it.
Literally. Also, yeah, for reference, the fourth chair is my cat, who's actually in the other room today, so she's not being noisy. Um. Anyways, I don't know. Like, I'm not a sports gamer. I don't care about these games, but like, it's great for those who want to play it. So
I think it's great. I'll tell you
Yeah.
why I think
So
it's great.
something that Donnie said. I will give him some credit because he's very analytical and has fucking good ideas. He's talking about Sony needs to just make a deal to bring Game Pass to Xbox and put some of its games also
you mean
on Game
PlayStation?
Pass. PlayStation, yeah, needs to make
Yeah,
a deal with Microsoft to put, some games
yeah,
on Game Pass and then vice versa bring Game Pass to PlayStation.
yeah,
And then we have a win for everybody.
yeah.
I look at it like this:
I mean, go ahead, Delvin.
they're gonna have to play ball eventually. Like, let's be honest, PlayStation is gonna want those Bethesda games on PlayStation.
Yeah, and
So
that I've seen that conversation around where people are like, "Wow, Sony must have got a lot of cash for this," and one of the replies was, "Well, they don't need to ask for cash; they can just ask for those Bethesda titles and get those over
exactly,
there."
yeah,
But that's the thing. I don't know that this was a Sony decision. I've said
It
it
wasn't.
before.
MLB is the publisher of the game on Xbox, not
I mean,
Sony.
PlayStation Studios still comes up when you
Uh,
launch the game, so it doesn't matter. It's still a PlayStation game. But yes, MLB is listed as the publisher, so this was entirely an MLB decision. However, again, I completely agree with what Donnie's saying. Like, and I think it'll happen. I've said it before. I don't know that it will be this year or next, but I think at some point PlayStation's gonna have to realize there is no way we don't find like there's no way to not have like and I'm saying this casually as someone who enjoys like the Elder Scrolls, but I know Dev you don't. But Elder Scrolls is big money. Like it's big
Mhm.
money. There is no way you don't want that on your system. And again, Xbox has now said like it will exist on platforms where Game Pass exists. So I don't think there's.
They didn't say that it wouldn't exist on platforms where Game Pass doesn't exist.
I mean,
They didn't say it. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
I don't know what that means, but I literally just saw like I watched the video. I literally like watched the video where Phil Spencer said that. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
That's an easy way of saying that it's going to be on Game Pass, but that doesn't also say that it won't be other places because it could be like, okay, you can have this, but you have to pay for it. They can say if you want this, you need to have some kind of Game Pass connection, or Bethesda can be like, no, we just want to make some extra money and we'll charge you $70 to play it on PlayStation.
I
Like
mean,
that's another option.
again, I still think Game Pass should come to PlayStation. Like it's literally the best deal in gaming. Like it's
I don't
literally
want to have to log in with Xbox Live on my PlayStation.
you already do if you play Minecraft.
I don't play
You think
Minecraft.
Dev plays Minecraft?
I don't think Dev plays Minecraft, but I'm just making that example. You already do.
Well, he doesn't.
I
He
don't.
doesn't want to, and I damn sure don't. Well, my whole thing is this. I think if I were to take a guess, I would think MLB made PlayStation put the show on Xbox. I don't think they made them put it on
They
Game
did.
Pass per se.
Yeah,
They made it on
they
Game
made
Pass.
them make it cross platform, but I don't think they made them put it on Game Pass. I think this may have been something that they weren't even aware of happening until it happened. Like I think it was a deal struck by Microsoft and MLB, and MLB probably got some cash, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna take that money. Yeah, please put it on Game Pass. Give us this money. They're gonna take that." So I think it was something that was done in partnership with those two and had nothing to do with Sony. And now Sony, like if you notice, Sony hasn't, and the MLB, the show, Twitter, like none of their social media has said anything about it. They've made no mentions whatsoever about it being on Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's all been just Xbox's side. So there may be now some bad blood between the sides, which may cause other issues. Who knows? I think the inevitability is that Sony at some point will have to come up with either a legit competitor or bringing Game Pass to PlayStation at some point. I think this year is really gonna determine it, depending on the sales of the systems and the sales of games, and see if Sony still continues to have that commanding lead. They may just continue to wait and not do anything. It's just it's all gonna determine like how I think this year goes. And you still really have to try really hard to find a PlayStation. And I feel like it's very easy to get an Xbox.
It's not.
So
I can promise you it's not. At least in Canada, it's not.
Maybe in Canada, out here,
because let me put it this way: I held off on selling my PS4 Pro because I was going to use it to trade towards the Series X. They're still sold out for the foreseeable future, and they've literally said like, "No, we're looking at July." So I sold it and made $250.
I think there's an interesting factor that we're not even looking at. The fact that we don't know how well this show would sell on Xbox. We assume that it would sell good, but we don't know if Xbox fans would just flock and gather around and go buy the show. Would it sell good or not? Because
I mean,
it's uncharted territory.
That's a good question. I wonder if the pre-orders numbers were so low that they were like, let's just put it in Game Pass instead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen the comments under literally any of the show posts from previous years? Literally, it's like, well, I wish this game wasn't exclusive. Mm-hmm. Like, literally.
But people say that all the time. People keep talking about how bad they want a Metroid game and nobody buys them. Yeah. Like, people will talk about how they want something, and then when it comes, they still don't buy it. Like,
I think Donnie made a salient point, though, over in the chat there. He's like, you could easily link two IDs together, like Fortnite and Rocket League do. So, I mean, if Game Pass comes over, like, you could essentially just merge your IDs. Like, I mean, it wouldn't be hard for me. They both, aside from the fact that Xbox has numbers after them on some of them now, both my IDs are the same. So it's Haley Zarel. So I got no problem with that. I use the same email for both of them. Like,
I don't care. I don't want no Xbox shenanigans on my PlayStation.
Hey, just give me Game Pass.
I will say that having MLB the show on Game Pass kind of hedges their bets and protects them in terms of like, hey, even if people aren't buying it, it's available to people on Game Pass, so that's great for them. So that and it's the safe way to do it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That makes me wonder what pre-order numbers looking like. Like, that's a very good point. Like, it could have just been not looking like people were going to buy it, and they went ahead and said, okay, let's make the safe bet. Let's go ahead and throw it in Game Pass. That way we know people will play it. And then when it eventually comes off Game Pass, which I imagine it will because it's not a first-party title, it'll maybe get people to like, oh, it's leaving. Let me go ahead and shell out this discounted rate and buy the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Like, it's going to be an interesting conversation for sure. I definitely think at some point, like you said, Dev, they're either going to have to make a competitor, which I don't think Sony wants to invest the money into. Or
I don't think they have the money to invest. That's the other thing that we forget about. Microsoft has like an unending
supply of
cash because they have their business in so many other places, where Sony is like, they make cameras, they make TVs, and they make PlayStation. Like, that's really it. Like, they don't have the constant influx of cash that Microsoft has from so many other avenues, which allows them to just do almost what the heck they want. And the fact that they've put so much faith, because they were going to kill off Xbox at one point. But your boy Phil, he righted the ship, and now he's kind of got like carte blanche to do whatever he wants because he's driving a very successful ship that has so many people invested in Xbox and
Yeah.
coming back to Xbox and excited about Xbox, where the disaster of the Xbox One was so bad, and he's completely turned that around.
Yeah,
And now they're kind of the model. So
like that's what I'm saying. Is
Saudi
like,
Nutella has no problem being like, yeah, go ahead and do this. Yeah, go ahead and buy that. Yeah, go ahead and do this. Where Sony is like, I can't, we can't just drop $70 billion for or $7 billion for something. We ain't got that kind of cash. We can't do that.
yeah. So like I said, like either they invest in a competitor, which I don't think they have the interest in, or money to do, or they pay.
They need to stop buying the wrong stuff. That's the problem.
I
Buying
mean,
what did they buy? They bought Gaikai and did nothing with it. That didn't pan out. That's
Gaikai
PS
turned
Now.
in. Yeah. Then they
And then
bought
they bought what? Crunchyroll or who they buy? They bought
Funimation.
something. Funimation.
But see, here's
It's
the thing: that might actually be blocked. They may not actually get to keep Funimation. There's an antitrust thing for that, and it's being held up in court. They may not actually get to keep Funimation, which is interesting news. And then what else? Oh, they just bought Evo as well. Like they co-bought
Yeah.
Evo with someone. But again, like I was trying to say, like they either invest or they buy into having Game Pass on the console, which I think would benefit everyone, honestly. Game Pass is again the best deal in gaming, so
Yeah. I'd like to see them fix PS Now, to be perfectly honest. Like,
Yeah,
fix it.
I think that seems the more likely
Fix it.
scenario. Them fixing it and making it more
Does it?
appealing to people.
At
does
this
it?
juncture, yeah, it does. Only because of the fact that they're still competitive and they may not want to just concede. Because you
Yeah.
got to think about like the pride that you have with a lot of the Japanese companies. It's like
It's
I'm
not a
not going to
Japanese
just
company
concede.
anymore, though. They've literally
It's
been
base where it's from. It's base. Like it's still.
They've literally
It's still
moved all of their leadership out of Japan, like, and they just shuttered Japan studio and turned it into Team Asobi.
Yeah,
So
but the base and the core of PlayStation, the core of Sony as a
Japan.
company is Japan. So I don't think that they are just going to be willing to concede so fast and be like, yeah, we'll go ahead and bring Game Pass. I think their first intention is like, right now we're ahead. What can we do to keep that? And I think that the PS Now fix and investing in that and trying to make that more of a competitor to Game Pass instead of conceding victory to Game Pass and giving them the win by putting it on your system, I think is the more likely course of action at this current juncture.
yeah,
Down the line, that may change.
I don't think so. I think I think the more likely option is that PlayStation Now just dies because they literally seem to put games on it for like a limited time frame and then they're gone. Which that's fine. Game Pass does that with some stuff as well, but like they've literally done nothing. Like there's still a massive amount of input lag depending on your connection. Like I haven't had too much of it. But there's still a massive amount of like PS3 titles that aren't there, which could be there. There's no PS2 or PS1 games on it, like, and honestly, you can't stream DLC for games. So, for example, if you want to play Fallout 3, you're just playing base Fallout 3. Like, you
Those are all
can't.
things that can be fixed. Like,
Yes.
it's not like they can't fix that. Especially when they talk about like all the different patents we've seen for like the emulation and stuff like that. It's still possible. It's just
Okay,
a matter
but
of where do they want to hedge their bets.
But again, patents get made all the time, and nothing
I
comes
know.
of them. So,
Very true. But again, it's where do you want to hedge their bets? And I would believe that. I honestly think just from Sony being Sony and what they typically do, it is either going to be a PlayStation Now type thing right now or something PlayStation related at this current juncture with them being ahead of the game and being in the winning position, opposed to partnering with Game Pass this soon. In the future,
Yeah.
possibly if they start losing a lot of market share and they start losing more and more stuff, then I could see them doing that. But like currently, with them being basically in the lead and still having a lot of titles that are coming that are big, I can't imagine them just deciding to go, hey, here's Game Pass on PlayStation right now.
I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see.
It's a long game. It's definitely not like this. It's not a short term thing. It's not a short term anything right now. I think it's still a long play.
I don't know.
Either way, I'm gonna play Outriders. I don't care about anything else right now. Outriders, Ratchet and Clank, Returnal. Let's go.
I still got that other bill to come out. I was hoping to have bought Outriders for the weekend, but you know, I guess one of the bills that normally comes out on a Friday decided that they weren't going to take it out on the Friday because it was a bank holiday, but the other one did, even though it was a bank holiday. I got no clue, so now I just have to sit here and wait.
Yeah, bank holidays. What are those?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is out here.
So
All of
essentially,
our holidays like that are like Sundays, so it doesn't matter. Banks are closed on Sunday anyway.
no, like for example, I'm pretty sure the bank's closed on Monday too. So like,
Out here, no.
I
Easter Monday didn't even become a thing until my daughter was in school. I was like, what the hell is Easter Monday? What do you mean you don't have school?
I don't think we have that down here.
Donnie asked another question.
I know. I saw it. Nobody cares about your clap hands golf. Donnie.
What?
So clap hands golf is the makers of what's it called? Everybody's Golf or whatnot. Hot Shots, whatever. So they've gone third party and now they have their game Clap Hands Golf or whatever on iOS.
Okay.
A lot of people, I guess PS folks, he said, are tried to make the closing of Japan Studios sound like a big deal because of Astrobots, but they work with second party games like Hot Shots. I don't know. I didn't even know people cared about Hot Shots until I met Donnie.
Donnie cared about Hot Shots.
Yeah. I have never, until I met Donnie, I had never heard anyone talk about Hot Shots like it was a thing. So
I want to say Greg Miller.
Greg Miller cares a lot about.
Yeah, I never listened to Greg Miller like that.
Actually, funnily enough about Greg Miller, I woke up at like 2:00 this morning.
Greg Miller podcast.
Here's my favorite thing. I opened Twitter, and the first thing I see from Greg is like tweeting at like 3 a.m., like after I'd woken up a bit, and literally was just like, how come we never talk about how good cold fried chicken is? And I was like, Greg, this is a terrifying thought for you to have at 12 a.m. because he's in Cali. So it was 3 for me. And I'm just like, why are you tweeting about cold fried chicken at 12 o'clock in the morning?
Not a fan of cold fried chicken.
I'm not a fan of it, but I mean, I've definitely had some cold fried chicken at a.
Okay, that made me laugh.
You know.
That actually made me laugh.
Sad clown,
Donnie. I mean, do you guys play?
I don't
the golf. Like, do you guys think anything about Clap Hands Golf going third party? Like,
I don't play golf games except like if it's a mini putt game, then I'll play it. I don't care about real golf, but I'll play like mini putt games.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. If Tiger Woods is not in the game, I am not playing that game.
Okay, so I guess you're not playing EA's new golf games.
Hell no, I'm not playing it. Ain't no way.
Yeah. The only, you know what? That's the answer you got to. The only Tiger Woods game, the only golf game I ever played was the Tiger Woods one. That was it. I never played any other golf games. I don't care. And like I said, I don't know anybody that plays them. I know people who like golf and play golf, but I don't know anybody outside of Donnie. And when he tries to get his little crew of people to play some golf, those are the only times I see golf. And this is definitely not the Greg Miller podcast. No, absolutely not. Haley is the Greg Miller liaison. Okay. Definitely not the Greg Miller podcast.
I mean,
Lord knows half the stuff he says I don't agree with at all.
What?
Greg Miller. I was a Colin fan. I was a Colin fan back in the Beyond days. Like Colin was the only reason I could still listen to that show because Greg and the games that he plays and the stuff that he likes. I'm just like, no. Even Blessing, like Blessing. I listen to what he's talking. I'm like, no, I don't agree with you in any way, shape, or form. So
damn harsh words for Blessing. Blessing's great.
No, I think Blessing is great. We just have very different tastes.
I was a fan of Colin and Greg together. Separate,
yeah, exactly.
I'm like,
same here.
I'm not feeling it.
I'm not.
Exactly.
No, Colin is definitely on some different stuff these days.
Yeah, them together, they were a great duo. I love them together, but separately, I'm not a big fan.
I think Kind of Funny and Greg and everybody else is doing way better without Colin. So,
no comment.
No comment. I'm sure I'll get some out there.
I mean, they probably are doing better, but
I'm quite sure they are.
Monetary. Yeah, but I don't like that dynamic as much as I liked it with Colin. I feel like Colin always kind of brought certain levity to a lot of stuff, and I liked it better.
Oh, I wouldn't call it levity. I'd call it something else.
That's fine. Call it whatever you want. I call it levity.
You come back and listen. You come back and listen to some of the stuff he said, because
yeah, I've always appreciated Colin's point of view, 100%. Whenever they had all about, of course, I've not gone back and listened to it. Who has the time to do that? But in that time frame, I always appreciated Colin's point of view. And
how did we get here?
Bouncing back, because Donnie. That's why.
This is Donnie's plan to just ruin PSXP.
No,
he's gonna hate me. He is gonna hate me in the next Xbox Empire because I'm gonna be all up in his chat, nonstop.
Oh man. I don't know. I don't know. I enjoyed. I sat there this morning while I was trying to fall back asleep, listening to 2 hours of Easy Allies. So
I can't listen to those podcasts no more.
Hey, K-Off is not boring. They're fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie. I 100% agree with Donnie. I can't listen to it no more. And I love them as people, but I cannot listen to it anymore.
Yes, 100%. Yep.
Lord knows I've tried. And to that credit, it made me listen to more PSVG. Honestly, when Kind of Funny kind of went down, I kind of just listened to PSVG a lot more. Now
PSVG
Empire's my favorite Xbox podcast.
If you want
Shaq's my favorite Nintendo podcast.
If you want a good, I mean, this isn't a hot take, but Nintendo stuff from Kind of Funny. What are you doing? What are you doing? The only person there who really cares about Nintendo is Tim.
I can't.
Tim.
I can't.
Oh God, Tim.
I can't listen. I can't. Like I said, Shaq, Empire. I don't listen to this one as much because I'm living it, so it's weird to listen to myself live a podcast. But yeah, it's Shaq and Empire. That's where I go for my information.
Oh, now you want to send an invite for him to join the show, Donnie? now Delphin can come Shaq? Wow.
I know that we have our own movie podcast for patrons, right? Dollar Cinema.
Yes.
If you're also if you're also interested in our good movie podcast, check out the Sincast by Cinema Sins. They're great. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll check them out. Married to the Games I listen to a lot.
I am Married to the Games is great, but I don't know.
Good Morning Guys I listen to a lot too, but I wouldn't call them a gaming podcast per se.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Okay, well,
I don't know. We're just
gonna do it for.
We're just vamping now.
Yeah. We're just. It's a wrap. That's gonna do it for episode. What is it? 78.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yes, I think it is.
All right, cool. So this will do it for episode 78.
Actually, wait, hold on. I can tell you what it is.
Well, we're gonna go with 78 because that's what I said. So we hope you enjoyed yourself. Please feel free to holler at us and give us a follow over on the Twitters at PlayStation XP. Stop by the blog at psvg.blog or the Discord at psvg.blog/Discord, where Delvin never joins
I was there.
Join us in our shenanigans there. You were there. Oh, you were inviting me to the podcast, Downey, not Delvin. Got it.
Wow.
You know what? I'm gonna come on Empire at some point. At some point, it's gonna be a great time.
This is hurtful. Very hurtful. I love you too, buddy. I just want you to go on now, Dev, and just praise me and just tell them how wrong
Delvin
Donnie
is my hero. He is the man.
brother.
Have you listened? He is the GOAT of podcasting.
Facts.
But last but not least, we want to invite you to be a part of our Patreon over at patreon.com/PSVG, where if you enjoy our content here, we've got a slew of additional content for only $3 a month, as well as some new shows coming that haven't been mentioned yet. So we're always working on something behind the scenes, always something coming. So with that in mind, I'd like to give a special shout out to our producers, Michael Mason, Barry Cathcart, Edwin Callow, Stephen Keller, Nick Creature, Root Days 93, Ben Moxham, Rob Emanuel, Nick Fallharbert, Paul Calico, Kyle Heyman, Grouchy Surge, Devin Tyus, Josh the Bonesaw Barboni, RJ Kern, and Horse Girl 69.
69.
Thank you all for joining us in the journey that is PSVG.
I was waiting for it. I saw the chat yesterday. I knew it got updated. I was waiting for it.
Degenerates. Oh, let the people know where they can find you. We'll go with Delvin because Haley is still busting it live.
You can find me on Twitter at Delvin_Cox, aka 41 Savage. I'm in the building. You can check out the Delvin Cox Experience anywhere you get podcasts.
For sure. What about you, Haley? Where can people find you?
You can find me over on Twitter at Shepard Zarel. You can find me on your game platform of choice at Haley Zarel. Twitch.tv/Haley Zarel. Again, like I said, still working on jobs. Hopefully something on that front soon. If so, I'll be able to stream stuff. Tentative return is Mass Effect or Resident Evil, whichever. I think Resident Evil comes like a week before. Either or, looking at like May, hopefully I'll have the energy by then. If you want to see my shenanigans over on Tumblr at this point, it's all a mishmash at this point. Just also HaleyZarel.tumblr.com. There you go.
If you still use a Tumblr account in 2021, you can follow Haley on there.
Hi, I've been on Tumblr since I was like 14. I have over 125,000 posts. Of course I still use it.
Didn't know Tumblr still existed until I talked about it.
My favorite thing is seeing articles about how Tumblr died. And I'm just like, I'm looking at them on Tumblr going, hi, we're still here.
And you can find me at Dat Ninja Dev pretty much everywhere. I got to get back to streaming on Thursdays when my Thursdays stopped getting deleted for one reason or another. But yeah, find me. Talk some trash. Dat Ninja Dev on Twitter, Twitch, everywhere. It's a good time. Come find me in Discord. I like to talk a lot to Donnie and make fun of him and vice versa. And try to bring Delvin to the Discord.
I will come when you make fun of Donnie. Just say at me and say at Delvin and just make fun of Donnie, and then I will be right there like the Flash.
All right.
When I wanted to see things, because otherwise he won't show up.
Yeah.
Right. All right. And with that, long live play.
PlayStation